how do all you, adding on to that, how do all you commission? How do you decide what you are going to produce content-wise? New show.
You know, I think through my whole history of doing this, the thing that I've always tried to keep my instincts, tight on and keep an eye out for are things that play with emergent trends. That you're not just telling a story, you're telling a story that somehow is going to have some either conscious or subconscious meaning in the world and what's going on in the world. And it's a little difficult sometimes because you make TV and it might not air for a year. So you're making decisions now based on kind of some cultural trends that you're seeing. So I've always tried to read as much as I can on what's going on in people's lives, where the economy is going, and where the political spectrum is going, where the rise of women, all of that type of stuff, to help guide your green light choices. And I'd love to say that I saw the darkness of Trump coming, and that is why the joyousness of Schitt's Creek is so successful. I swear to God, it is. Look, that show has been, we're in our 5th season, and it's only in this past season where that show has kind of exploded onto the map. Now, why is it bigger today than it was 4 years ago? It was a great show 4 years ago. Why has it exploded today? Now, some of that is we're a small network and we don't have the marketing money to have kind of done the massive onslaught 4 years ago to tell you how great it was. But part of it is that there's a lot of darkness out there in the world these days. There's the country is polarized. People are arguing with each other. The economy is doing well, but there's dark political discourse that is affecting all of our lives. And every Wednesday night at 10 o'clock, you can go to this little town of Schitt's Creek and kind of enjoy yourself, where there's no biases and there's nobody judging anybody. And we have wonderful pansexual or gay relationships that are just treated like any relationship. And there's nobody judging anybody. And it's just this wonderful place. And we've done, panels like this with the cast of Schitt's Creek. And when it's question and answer time from the audience, people literally stand up and almost cry, thanking them for this joyousness that they get to go to every Wednesday night. So, having keen kind of cultural instincts has always been part of my green light process, trying to figure out not just what's going to make a good story with a good cast and compelling entertainment, but something that might have a little bit of meaning and pop in culture. And that's tricky.
And Chris?
I think, again, we're starting with talent that has something unique to say. So it sort of starts with what is that message? Does it feel fresh? Does it feel authentic? Does it feel compelling? Do I want to come back to it week after week? It's not hard to make a good pilot, right? You can craft a half an hour of most anything and make it really entertaining. The challenge is, do I want to come back to this week after week? Does it have legs? Can I imagine that it has depth and that it can continue to grow? And I'm going to want to talk. Do I want to talk about it? So it's everything that Brad said, and then it's a combination of understanding your audience and understanding your audience's expectations. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones who decide whether something's a hit. It's not about how much I market something or how hard I push for it. It's only going to work if they connect with it. So it's understanding your audience and then delivering them something that's new and exciting and compelling, and that you keep thinking about. Sometimes you'll have on your development slate, you'll have a project and you're trying to work out a deal, and you're like, what was that project again? Why were we excited about that? If I can't remember that creative of that or why I was excited, then that tells me right there that there's something inherently missing in it. But it's about do you keep thinking about it, and do you feel drawn to it? And then, at the end of the day, it either gels or it doesn't. Sometimes great ideas can have great talent, and they just don't come together. But then when they do, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious if there's something there. So,
I think it's very similar. It's creative risk taking with an informed point of view, an audience informed point of view. But it's looking for, again, bold, distinctive content that has the capability to break through an incredibly cluttered landscape. We look for fresh talent, fresh voices, innovative formats, innovative storytelling, And we also look for properties that have the potential to build deep and robust fandoms. We've been a network that has been built in many ways on these fandoms. We were a very early entrant into the social media world and using it not just as a marketing tool, but as a platform to build community and have those communities mean something in the world and help evangelize our content. So everything is sort of evaluated on that spectrum.
And it's so important when you think what Courtney's saying about fandoms. Emotional connection is everything. When you're emotionally connected to a brand, you tell other people about it, you buy more of it, you go back there more often. And that's why some of you might be emotionally connected to Nike, or you might be emotionally connected to Starbucks, or you might be emotionally connected to the little coffee shop across the street. But emotional connection is everything. And in our business, when you're emotionally connected to something and you tell other people about it, that means new viewers. When you come back to it more often, that means frequency. When you spend more time with it, that means length of tune. Those are the three factors in a ratings point, right? New viewers, length of tune, frequency. And that is all emotional connection. And emotional connection is in every industry. And so creating fandoms is what we all dream of doing for that reason.
And word of mouth is the #1 way people find content today. So that is dependent on those connections, right? And
Definitely.
wanting to share that.